right, dude. We're live, man. We are live.
What is going on, YouTube?
YouTube. We're not on YouTube yet. We're not live on YouTube yet, dude.
What is going on, Facebook
There
friends?
you go.
We are
There you go.
live. We are excited on what we got ready for you guys today. It's going to be an entertaining day.
Welcome to another
Fun.
episode. This is Make It Rain. I'm your host, Peter Yang, and this is
Mr. Rain. Frankie, man, you know what it is.
Yeah. He don't need no introduction. Glad to have you back. The viewers that are watching. We're learning, we're growing, and we hope that you are also learning and growing with us. Remember, if you want to be on the show, join the Discord. It's free. You just sign up, you email, and then we get to chat with you. And also, once again, we have a Patreon page as well. $5 subscription gets you what was that? It gets you exclusive content. I think we had a random just hop in real quick.
Yeah, we did. Should we go to a different? Should we go to a different one?
I think there's a way to
Permissions, right?
permissions. Yeah, let's go there real quick.
Okay, we're gonna figure that out. As Peter figured that out, I'm gonna go online and see us on live. Oh shit, it is on live. Super cool. All right, guys. Hope you guys are doing fine. Me and Peter are doing this every Thursday. Come join us. We're gonna be having guests soon, and it's gonna be anybody and everybody that's gonna be on this podcast. From famous to infamous to broke to rich, they're all going to be on here. It's going to be a great podcast that we want to relate to you guys and just kind of figure out where everybody's at mentally, because we're here to help out and we want to hear your perspective, so maybe you can help us out as well. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a
That
second.
was perfect, dude. Yeah, because we're all about
But yeah.
growing the community and also growing together.
You're right.
Mental health is a big thing for us, and that's our focus
Yeah.
as well.
We also, if you join the Discord, we share our side hustles and our opinions on things, to basketball, any sports, to health, to physical health. Yeah, we're there to help you out on Discord. So we're spilling everything out. We're very transparent on Discord. So come join us on Discord. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Sweet.
And today we're gonna start with Peter, man. Peter's gonna be reacting to some videos that are controversial, educational, motivational, and some comedy, of course, get some laughter in. And we just want to know his opinion. And you want to go ahead and start, Peter?
Yes, sir. Let's get it, man.
Let's do it.
All right, so let me pull up the video.
Welcome back to Grocery Store Garbage, and here's why I'm extremely picky with the fish I eat. Salmon specifically. Farm-raised salmon is banned in multiple countries due to its toxicity. It's injected with tons of drugs, one of which causes internal bleeding. Pretty convenient that none of these have ingredient labels on them. They're absolute shit, pure toxicity. So wild caught is usually what you want to get, but this stuff is actually way worse. If you look at the ingredients, it's not wild. It's got nitrite, which is a toxic preservative, yellow 6, yellow 5, red 40, which are all extremely neurotoxic. Some wild bullshit. None of this is food. It's
Wow,
all
bullshit.
carcinogenic poison and complete dead nutrition, not any nutritional value whatsoever. And when potatoes are fried at a high temperature, they create a carcinogen called acrylamide, which is cancer causing. Also, none of this is real yogurt. Yogurt has to be pasteurized and the probiotics get cut out before they're put on the shelf. This is just a ton of refined sugar, which is horrible for your gut. And the living probiotics are what makes yogurt actually healthy, and they're just taking it out. So it's kind of, this is all I came here for. 95% of our body's serotonin, the happy molecule, is produced inside the gut. Not only this, but the cells inside our food become the cells in our brain and body. So how you feel and your state of being directly correlates to the food that you're eating. If you want to feel the full divine nature of your being, I have free health resources on my website.
The full divine nature. Man, I like that. He worded that very good.
What do you think, man? What do you think? False?
Dude,
What did you got?
hella shit is killing us, dude. Dude, a lot of shit we eating is killing us. You know, even if we do fucking eat healthy, dude, we're not exercising, you know? So there's, you know,
True.
it's, you know, if you want to be, you know, conscious and really care about what you eat, then go ahead and do it, right? Because you will live, you know, because like I think I expressed to you a while back that like for like about I think like almost 2 weeks, I went on a vegan diet or I shouldn't say that because what it was just no animal product, right? So it was just vegetables and fruits, you know. It was some of it was processed foods, but most of it was. But I felt good, you know, eating that diet. But man, I love
Yeah.
beef, man. I love beef. I can't stay away from beef. And then after I gave into that, I just ate everything and everything. But for that 2 weeks, I did feel really good. I was sleeping really well. It was easy for me to sleep. I woke up very energized, and you know my cognitive ability was real good. So there's definitely some truth to what is it, processed foods. Sticking to not just, you know, organic, but natural, you know, homegrown type of shit, you know.
Would you? Why do you think you're not like continuing to eat fresh like that? Like, is that what's the
It's
problem?
so easy, man. Because like, well, one, I think like if the whole house is on board, then you know it'll be easier to eat more healthier. It'll be easier um, to eat good, right? I mean, because like if everybody's conscious about, you know, if everybody in the house is conscious about, you know, um, like what ingredients is in our foods, and you know, it's a team effort. But you know, let's say if I'm living by myself, then I can go ahead and execute that piece. But you know, it's just a matter of self control too, because I think a lot of those foods are very addicting, right? The sugar piece is very addicting. Carbs are so addicting. Um, all them chemicals are addicting. You know, it's just something about those crazy ass scientific food, man. It's just it's a you know I
I mean,
like a regular pack of chips, you know, has all those chemicals that you can't pronounce, and it's just
you could
so good,
still
man.
like if you can maneuver it. Would you maneuver it? Would you not choose, those chemical foods
Maneuver
or
what?
like those
Like for
farm
example.
fed fish? Like example, like eating the fish, right?
Okay.
There's the wild caught, which is the farm, right?
Yeah.
Would you maneuver? Would you rather choose the wild caught fish versus the farm raised? I mean, I know
Uh,
the some wild caught are still like got some chemicals and stuff in there too, but
man, dude,
would you
you asking the wrong guy,
be
man.
careful with it?
I don't care, dude.
You
Like,
don't
dude,
care?
because well, you go to a sushi restaurant,
No.
it's the same shit, dude. All that shit got so much mercury in it. I'm just like, dude, give it to me. Give me all that mercury, cuz. You know,
Yeah,
because
that
like if you're talking about sustainable food, especially like fish has like so much, you know, fucked up shit going on with it too, and especially sustainability and all that stuff. That in itself is a whole another mess, you know. Because like I think the only other place we can get I think it's vitamin E, whatever, fish oils. what is fish oil? Fish oil is what vitamin? I don't know what it is, but fish oil is
It's just
important.
fish
Oh,
oil.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. But fish oils is important for your brain health, right? And then so, if you're not growing your own fish, then you're at the mercy of these companies who, pump so much chemicals in there, right?
So if you can choose to, be healthy, would you still choose that, or would you just don't care?
Oh, definitely. It's it's a want, but it's not something that I'm practicing right now. If anything, I need to practice not eating so much. I probably eat more than 2,000 calories. I mean, I've gained so much. I've gained 15 pounds since I got married. So I think it's my wife's fault. But
Oh
but
man, that's funny. Um, but yeah, I think I mean I don't really I try to eat healthy, man. I try to, but obviously I'm not the best at it. I
yeah,
mean I try to eat better fish. I go to Trader Joe's, which is more like of a local area. Even the chicken tastes different.
oh yeah, yeah,
And the chicken. I'm not sure if there's a grocery store over here called Rouse, and it's more of a franchise in SoCal here. And the chicken there tastes like rubbery versus the
okay,
chicken at Trader Joe's.
yeah,
As you can definitely taste like the chicken a bit more, like more the Hmong chickens that that your parents cook,
organic,
that
yeah,
they kept at the farm.
farm,
A little
yeah,
more
free
organic.
free roam. And that's
Yeah,
kind of like a fantasy of mine is eventually one day like having a homestead, right? Buying a home with like a few acres of land to grow chicken, to grow vegetables. I think that'd be cool because I think I don't know if I told you, but at one point in time I did raise chickens, um, and that was fun. So I want to maybe eventually grow old and be an OG and
like Thai chickens or just regular chickens.
hey man, you know why Hmong people raise chickens, dog.
Yes, sir. I love my chickens, man. I
but
love my chickens.
so that's what I want to do, right? And then a method of growing healthy, organic chickens is the method is free range. I think Joel Salston. I don't know. I think his name is something like that. Joe Salston. He developed a method, and so I would do that method to grow my own chicken. What I was gonna say too is that like for now, where we get our chicken is from the Amish people. So we just pull up and then say, hey, we want this many chickens, and they butcher them and
Wait,
defeather
till
them.
today?
Yeah,
Like
or not not
that's
not
that's
not,
that's
not
really
literally
good.
today, but that's where
Oh,
we've been buying our poultry.
like still, right? Or
Yeah,
or you
yeah,
was
still,
like on and off?
yeah,
Okay, that's cool. That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, my parents, they love doing that. Dude. They love going out early in the morning, go to those farmers market, trading the animal trading, and they'll buy like 2 3 chickens for no, like maybe like 20 chickens for like $5 each. And then, yeah, they have a huge fridge full of just frozen chicken, man.
Oh yeah,
Good times, good times.
heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Those chicken, they taste different, dude. They
Yeah,
really good with pho.
yeah.
They just taste different. But yeah, dude, that's cool, man. Hopefully, one day I could afford to stay healthy. Because man, that's one of the situation too. It's just like, man, do I pick the $5 salmon that's from the farm, or the $15 as wild caught that may still have some chemicals in there too? Let's get three. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I'm definitely aware of this new foods and these chemicals that they put in there, and
Dude, that's why obesity is an epidemic in America, dude. It's like all these chemicals and all these corn starches are making America, obese or have like heart problems and shit, man. You see, there's I'm sure there's a study out there, but you see it in poor cities, right, or poor neighborhoods. They can't afford to buy healthier foods, right? It's just not as accessible, and so there's these unhealthy foods, that they buy, and then That's why the health system is, or that's why they're more sick in those areas.
Just something interesting that I found out a while back too, but it was the FDA. As long as the chicken is more than 78% chicken, then it'll pass the USDA meat. 78%. Isn't chicken supposed to be 100%?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
That's wild,
crazy,
man.
right?
Oh, dude,
That's crazy,
it's a bunch
dude.
of lobbying, dude. That's what the fuck it is, man. FDA, you can't trust them, and all these big corp is just fucking up
Yeah.
America, and then the what is it? The healthcare system is just, or pharmaceutical companies, right? Are keeping us sick so that way they can continue to make that money. It's wild, dude.
You know, so a short story real quick. My dad, he had this like guy A, like top of the chain chicken, like chick, right? And so my in-laws, my brother's in-laws, they do the chicken farm and stuff.
Okay.
And like obviously these they feed them like this kind of food. As my dad took some home because they grow so big and thick. So my dad started feeding those the feed to his Thai chicken, and man, dude, that chicken became dumb.
Oh, damn, that's crazy, dude.
Crazy how, dude, like it's a Thai chicken. It's supposed to be fucking straight
The
and
the
freaking
the pedigree, yeah,
like
the pedigree is
yeah,
top tier, but it became a retard.
tight meat. Yeah, tight meat. Like just
Yeah,
freaking top tier. But then like after feeding him the same food since it was a baby chick, like it became dumb.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh man, that blows my mind. And like it's exactly what they're doing with us with human food. And a lot of us don't see that, man. And like that's why I'm sticking more with fruits, and veggies, eggs, and healthier meat products for sure.
Good shit, man. That's good. Cool.
But yeah, man. You're gonna like the next one. We're gonna move on to the next one.
Sweet.
This one's gonna get you.
Oh, man.
We'll move on to the next video.
Nothing gets me, man.
This one's a good one.
Nothing can get me, man.
This one's a good one.
What you talking about? Nothing can get me, dog. Oh, is this gonna be like sad, dude? Oh, man.
Nah, we're not gonna
Thought
test it
maybe it
yet.
would just be kind of her and Vincent have their own thing and it's separate from our family, but it seemed like all of a sudden our families were just able to mesh together so well with his girls and my son. And it was kind of mind-boggling. It was really surprising that we all got along so well. I was really thankful to have a best friend, somebody I could confide in.
There was definitely a little bit of awkwardness with Dustin and I. I think it's kind of natural for guys to feel a little territorial, but over time I think we both realized that we have a genuine love for Kim, and that was what really started bonding us. We really were becoming a family. Yeah, we were.
What's going on?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Those poor kids.
Oh, no.
Ben Shapiro, man, that guy, he's a legend.
Oh, shit. He's like, oh, no. Oh, no.
So the question is, man, like, would you accept such thing?
Oh, my God. That's wild, bruh.
What if it was like, what if,
Me personally, no.
what if? Okay,
Me personally,
why is that?
hell no.
Why do you say that?
Man, that's wild, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like where do you draw the line in like family values? Like are we like because like right? It blurs the line between man. So these are new emotions, right? So I'm gonna try to express them as much as I can. But I feel like it starts to blur the lines of where we set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because then, right, like if people start adopting this type of, threesome, long term relationship. Kids grow up with this. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's fuck this. Let's fuck that. Let's, you know, hot partners here, hot partners there. It's like I think it's just, I don't know. Like where do you create stability, right? Where do you create? Because like, man, I just it's just our biology is,
Where do you
man,
think could go
woman.
wrong? Like,
Shit,
in
dude.
what
Like
part of the
like
relationship?
let's say kids, right? Because there's kids involved too, right? So, um, dude, every time you bust that out, I gotta bust mine out too, dog. I just
It's always right here, so
I have it right there too. But I'm just like, man, I'm gonna wait till he does it first. Oh man,
just
just
refreshes you a little bit, man.
yeah, the clarity, man. But
Extra kick.
anyways, so there's kids involved too, and there's just not enough studies long term to say what happens, or maybe there is. I don't dig into these things much, but I just, my gut feeling and just kind of what I've grown with is telling me, that's not the way, because even because right, if let's say you are, um, there's a word for that, polyamorous, polyamorous, some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Polyamorous.
if
Yep.
you're about that, what I'm saying, then and you can make that work. That's on you, But as for me, like like I think of partnership in a marriage is me and my wife. You know what I'm saying? And it's we, building a family together, right? And to have a third person, to have that third leg is just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, brother.
But then let me ask
You
this.
got me
What,
with this
let me
one.
ask this.
You got me.
What if there is a third, a second wife that comes in, and like your wife is like okay with it? Let's just say I'm just saying, like, what if there's a second one that was open? Well, how would you accept it still? Would you accept it, or would you still be like, you know what? It's just gonna be me and you instead of letting her in.
It's still weird. Yeah, it's still weird, dude. Because I know, because I know our what is it? Our previous generation, they still doing that. But
Yeah, yeah.
but the idea, right? I still can't wrap my head around that piece, right? Is that because family friend, right? He does have that kind of family system, is the first wife and the second wife, and then they are able to kind of intermingle, but then there's that disconnect between the two wives. There's that disconnect even between the kids, right? That they're cordial,
Interesting.
some of them are,
Yeah.
friends with each other, but there's it's just not the same. The family dynamic is just not the same. I think if you make it work, you make it work.
It
But
could go wrong.
but
Yeah, I think
to
I
have it
think it could go south.
but to have it sustainable long term, it's I don't foresee um,
That's fair.
an ability to, well, because you think of, right, not just current times, but if you think like years, thousands of years ago, right, they were called concubines, right? So the king just fuck these concubines to have children, right? And then so there's, I don't know, you how do you build a legacy, if it's not one family tree, one lineage, but it's these concubines, and you take partial of the inheritance, or Genghis Khan, who fuck all of China, and then we got a little bit of Mongolian in us, brother. And then so it's like, it's, I don't know, like, does it even matter, right? Because of, we'll probably be forgotten after 5 generations or 4 generations, and I don't know. To me, right, I legacy is a big thing, whether I'm remembered eternally or not. But my efforts and then my values, I pass down are from my grandparents and my parents, and that's what matters to me, So
it's a different generation, man. I mean, I think in our ancient history, we've always had like multiple wives. Obviously, it's not common in this generation, but it's in previous too. Like, there's never a point where it's vice versa, where the woman has five husbands.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been the guy that has multiple wives.
That's called
You've seen those.
That's called, yeah, I've seen that. That's called a gangbang.
It's you know, it's so even like that too, right? Like those court cases where like, oh, like trying to find who the father is.
Oh man, that's
Like in back in the day, we can never tell if like, you know, we have DNA now. You can do DNA tests and like you can tell who the father is or who the father is. But before, like we didn't have that. So if a girl was to, you know, mate with five different dudes, we don't know who the father is. He's one of those five guys, but it's, you know, we don't know who the father is, you know, and there's no true like legacy that a man could hold. If it's like, oh, he could be the father, he could be the father, he could be the father. There's gonna be one sucker in there for sure, but you know, it's written in history, man.
the sucker's the
I don't know.
one who's got to pay child support. That's who the
Yeah,
no.
dude,
You know,
this is.
go ahead. Go ahead.
There's this video where this guy he raised a child for 10 years,
Dog.
and he just found out that that wasn't his real kid. And like the crazy thing was like she was making fun of him too, like,
Yeah.
and he found out from reading the text that she's been, you know, texting her friends about it, making fun of him. And the crazy thing is that even though he goes to court with it, he still has to pay child support because he's already prolonged helping them out for 10 years already. So he still like has to pay child support. That's crazy because like it favors the guy, of course. No, the girl more than the guy, because a guy you're just pretty much like fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's,
Just like paying child support,
and it's
especially
not-
if she lied to you in the
yeah,
beginning.
and it's not your kid. You know, well,
Yeah.
if you built the relationship after 10 years, I wouldn't mind. You know what I'm saying? And that would 1,000% break my heart. And if you don't have visitation rights too, that would just destroy me, dude. But
Yeah, man.
I think it you know, honestly, it doesn't matter what stage in the age the child is. If you built that bond, you know, mentally, you're already, you know, saying that's my kid, right? Like your spirit is like that's my, you know, that's my semen, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's my seed right there, grew, you know. So that's sad, man. I've seen, you know, like scrolling through Facebook, I see these court cases of these bitches, you know, who celebrate that the dude, you know, the dad, the biological father,
Oh yeah.
don't want her, and then she's celebrating because this dude does want her, and you know, some shit happened, and so yeah, that's sad, man. Yeah.
Man, I try not to watch those videos, man. Well, those are just shitty videos that you know, try to not watch. But I've seen it though, definitely seen it, but not really big fan of those because, you know, it's horrible, man. Horrible thing to do is just to celebrate on, especially it's a selfish act, you know, and not thinking about the child, and the child's gonna be fatherless, you know. Anyways, man, let's go to the next one, man. Let's go to the next video.
Yeah.
I think you like the next one.
Okay, let's bounce back from that one. How about that? You know, it means a little bit more to me because I have kids. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about these things about, you know, children and all right, here we go. Next video.
Sat down for an interview before his first ever PGA Tour event. He sat down with Curtis Strange, and when Curtis asked him what he thought would be successful at this event, Tiger told me he wanted to win. Curtis Strange tried to steal his confidence. He tried to mock him for wanting to be the best. Check out the interview.
What would be a successful week here in Milwaukee?
Two things. I think if I play 4 solid rounds, if I can do that for 3 more days, I'll be very happy, and a victory would be awfully nice too.
A victory.
Mm.
Do you think, to me, that comes off as a little cocky or brash? especially talking to the other guys on tour that have been out here for years and years and years. And what do you say to those guys?
Well,
When you come out here, you know what I'm saying, your
I
first
understand.
pro tournament, and you say, I can win.
Oh, I understand that. I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? I want to win. That's just my nature.
You'll learn. I'm just kidding you. I'm sorry I had to say that.
By the way, Tiger Woods won the event. Don't ever let somebody that's given up on their dreams mock you for having yours.
Oh man, Woods, man. Have you seen the documentary of Tiger Woods, man? That's a good documentary.
No, I have not, man.
You gotta watch
I've watched a lot of his golf videos. The one for one, man, it was crazy. That crazy shot, man. I think that was like the last shot too, and he won the tournament. That's why he's legend, man. That's why he's legend. We love Woods.
Hey, how's my camera, dude?
But what like was there something a time where someone mocked you like that and like you proved them wrong?
Oh, dude, I love that, man. Well, since I've distanced myself from, people, I don't see much of that or hear much of that. I see it at Pagoo family events, but
What?
I see it at my wife's family events, right? There's some people who don't like me, but what is it? I enjoy being what is it? What's the word? Underestimated. I enjoy being underestimated because I'm just quiet. I stick to myself. I hear people talk, like they're better than me. I'm just like, cool. All right, we'll see. Tight. That makes me very, very happy, dude. Being underestimated,
What's one occasion give me an example that had happened, like either anything that happened in the past that happened and you proved them wrong?
In business, dude. I mean, you get it all the time. You're presenting a sales pitch and they turn you down. Like it's in those moments, right, where they don't do business with you, and I'm just like, all right, you're losing out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep winning, and then so you get those interactions here and there. But then you help your clients win, and that's the victory, right? That I look forward to. And then you cross paths with these other people who hated or who doubted you, right? And then you're just like, oh hey, how you doing? What's good? What's you doing in life? Same shit, tight. Stay that way. that makes me happy.
Would you put them more on like a friends, more of a friends, or more like acquaintance or enemy? How would you?
They don't occupy my headspace, dude. I just
Okay.
like if I see them, I'm like, oh hey, that's the dude that was the dude, and I don't bother to even interact, unless we're going the same goddamn way, and it's just kind of oh hey, what's up, dude? And,
What if they're like they have to be there? What if they're like you guys are just at one day together, just hanging out, and you guys are at some event, and you have to kind of hang out with this guy?
oh man, so I think I'd avoid it. I'd avoid conflict. I'm not a confrontational person. That's not my personality. But man, like if they started, dude, I'm like, oh yes. And then I go.
That's fair.
I go for the kill. I go 0 to 100. Just out the gate swinging. And just you say something. Stupid. I'm gonna just go full force. There's this one time, dude. This one bitch, who just passive aggressive, right? There's this group chat, and of individuals, right? Where I said a joke. It's obviously a joke, and then passive aggressive, and I'm just like chill, and then my buddy was, on a private message like, hey man, that's funny, but shit's about to go down. And I'm just like, all right, but it's just those
That's
moments.
funny.
I don't get to, because I avoid conflict as much as possible, because I'm I'm happy. I don't want to fuck that up. You know, I'm doing me. I'm living my best goddamn
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
You know, I'm enjoying, you know, my kids and my time. I don't want to spend any thought, any effort into it outside of that, you know. And so, but you know, when those moments are just kind of unavoidable, I'm just like, yes, you know.
Yeah, man, I can definitely relate, dude. There was this occasion recently that had happened to me. Like I was just doing my videos, and you know, it was just all to myself, you know what I mean? And the key to it, man, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I think I'm, you know, pretty successful in my content creating for the cold showers. And the thing is that like you can never make anybody happy. You know what I mean? Like especially the one that hates you, they're always going to nitpick on you, on your stuff,
who's this
right?
person?
Example. I can't. I'm not gonna say any names. This, I'm not gonna. You know,
They're
it's
probably
we're not
watching.
we're not.
They're probably gonna see this.
They probably are.
They know who
If
they
it is,
are,
then it
though.
is, man.
They know who they are, though.
It's a love hate kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I understand like it's just like nitpicking on like, oh man, I thought that you was gonna use that instead. Huh, okay, you know what I mean? Instead of like congratulating, yo man, that's dope. Like you, what day you on, man? What's up? You know, like that's more of like a celebration
Yeah.
versus like, oh man, like, huh, you didn't do this. I'm like, damn,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
that sucks. That really sucks. Like it puts me in the level of like, oh, you on a different mindset from me. You know what I mean? Like you're not part of the team. Like you think you want to be part of the team, but you're not part of the team. And like it saddens me in a way, but in a way like it's just it don't matter. I'm still gonna keep on going.
Yeah. So there's these, you know, two motherfuckers I know, right? So I you know, I invited them to do a project, and then so the first guy, right? So the first guy, I invited him to do a project, shows up, does nothing, just on the phone, right? We're supposed to be writing, we're supposed to be brainstorming, communicating, none of that happening, and then I just kind of cold shoulder, never hit him up again, and then I hit him up to do a project, right? And then he had the audacity, right, to say something stupid, right? And then that was the end of that, right? That's the first guy.
Wait, what's that something stupid though? What's something that was something stupid they said he said? Like what was the
He tried to take credit for the idea that I was trying to pitch him. that's what it was.
Oh.
So
Okay.
you know that was whack. But anyways, cause like right, he showed up and did shit, you know. But anyways, second guy, right? I invite him. So he went to school for, you know, media and bullshit like that, right? Invited him to. So this was when we had the Make It Rain, you know, page still, right? Invited him on. You know, he thought he was a shit.
Page.
You know, but didn't really have a resume, right? Or any kind of proof of work that he's doing dope shit. But he comes on the scene, you know, acting like he knows shit. All he does is press the record button. That's all I needed at that time. It was just somebody to make sure it's recording.
That motherfucker's probably watching right now too.
Probably, I don't know. But so right, and then whenever came time to brainstorm and to do work, right, to gather resources, or not so much gather resources, but we were supposed to find guests for the podcast, right? And then so he didn't, you know, quite do that, or he didn't fucking do that at all. But you know, whenever we did brainstorm and try, you know, I try to bounce ideas, you know, his language towards me, right, was, you know, you're not funny, that's a dumb idea, that kind of demeaning, right, looking down on me kind of language. And then I was like,
yeah.
This instinctively doesn't feel right? So then he got booted. but you know, it's just man, like this is, I look back and I learned these things, right? It's like you just can't fucking allow everybody in, right? To do shit for you. You can't just let everybody
Yeah.
talk to you a certain way, right? You just can't be so inviting, right? Like there's a saying, I forgot how it fucking goes, but the message is that like I'm always ready to be everybody's friend, but not everybody's going to be my friend. You know what I'm saying? And so I live with that mentality, and that's why like right now I'm just in my space, because I've always had, the right people for so long. I just been looking elsewhere instead. Don't know fucking why, but that's what I did. But now I'm in a space where I'm like, okay, I got my shit together. I got my people together. I'm just here to, hit the ground running, So man, like that Tiger Woods video, and that's the thing too with like being a winner. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are going to try to bring you down because they don't want to see you win, right? Naturally, these jackasses are just come out of the bushes to, bring you down, and you got to keep pressing on. Oh, that's
true, man.
It feels good to say.
That's true.
This feels good to say because I've never said this. So
Yeah.
it feels good, man.
That's true, dude. Like it's crazy because like you notice these kind of things too. I mean, like I have people around me. I'm really aware of the people who I surround myself with, and how they react to good news. Like that's really important too. Cause like you say good news, like how do they react? Are they gonna be like, oh man, that's a dumb idea, that's stupid? Like, are they gonna bring you down, or are they gonna be like, man, are they gonna be encouraging?
Are they gonna celebrate?
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. So I'm really aware of it, man. Really aware of it. There's a lot of shitty people around me, but like honestly, I do have shitty people around me for a reason too.
Okay.
Because they challenge me to be a better person and aware of that situation.
I got a coworker, dude. Like rage is what fuels him. Rage is what fuels him, and then like he's always saying to me like, man, dude, I could do so much, but I'm comfortable, dude. Nothing makes me angry, man. Like, cause like when he plays COD, right, and he's got these little kids saying he's trash. He's like, man, I just go in there and destroy them, man.
That's funny, bro.
So you need your haters.
That's cool.
Every now and then you need your haters, right? To remind you to remind people that hey, you're not a little bitch, you're lying, man. So that's funny.
Yeah, man. Haters are good, man. They I've always like never liked haters. But like throughout the years, dude, I've definitely learned how to put them as my motivation and my fuel to my purpose. Cause like I love it. I love when people hate. It just fills me up. The crazy thing is that like hate is everywhere.
Yeah,
it's everywhere, man. Like as long as like you notice it and you kind of like, okay, how do I want to go about it? Do I want to diffuse it? Is it enough? Is there so much hate that like, I can't take of it, or how do I want to go about it? But dude, this never enough hate for me, man. Like it's keep it coming, dude. Keep it coming. But yeah, let's go on to the next one, the next video.
Cool, man. Okay, so we are 40 minutes in, brother. Doing good.
40 minutes in?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh yeah. This it only gets good after this. Yes, sir. Come join us. Watch the wholesome video.
So if I cry, it's only like. It's only a beautiful thing. This is all the unexpressed love, right? The grief that will remain with us, until we pass, because we never get enough time with each other, right? I hope this grief stays with me, because it's all the unexpressed love that I didn't get to tell her. And I told her every day. We all told her every day. She was the best of us. And for me, I got to sing Jonathan Larson's unfinished song while simultaneously singing for my mother and her unfinished song. And I'm indebted to John, and I'm indebted to Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm indebted to everyone who's brought me to this place so that I can honor the most beautiful person that I've ever experienced in my life through my art, and use it as a way to heal, use it as a way to sew up the wounds, because that's what we do, right? That's what we do. That's what you do every night. You sew up our wounds. You sew up our wounds. And both John and my mother were artists, and they were warriors for art. They knew the power of art, and they knew the power of leaving the world in a slightly more beautiful state than when they found it. So thank you for letting me talk about her, and thank you for letting me talk about it with my two guys up there as well. So thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks, man.
Oh damn, cuz. That's good.
Yeah, man. Is there something that you could relate to? You know, holding grief and just making that a positive thing in your life.
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know, like I
he talks about
I can
grief.
relate to so Andrews is talking about like how he got the chance to, you know, love on his mom one last time and bond in that matter, right? And they probably have a positive relationship. Me and my dad, we didn't. You know, that was just so traumatic to this day, even, you know. So, but I can understand that, you know, that love piece, right? I think that deep, affectionate, you know, love piece, right? Having that love for your parent who passed, you know, I can definitely relate to that, man. You know, I mean, I've learned, you know, it's wild for me because I think I'm fortunate, you know. Unfortunately, I'm fortunate that I learned a lot of these life lessons from my dad after he died, you know. And then I don't, so now I don't have the privilege of expressing what I'm learning in life. You know, I don't get to tell him I love him. You know, I don't get to take him out to his favorite restaurants anymore, and or at all, right? You know, I was such a shitty son when he was around. You know, one of the biggest traumatic experience was that he lives with me, right? But we're like, there's just such a huge gap of a disconnect, you know, that we weren't able to look at each other in the face and talk to each other and express, you know, our struggles, express, you know, how much we care about each other and share our ideologies and stuff like that, and share how we're growing, and, you know, share our past experiences and stuff like that. So I will never get to experience those things, right, with my dad. So there's, but you know, something in me, right, paid attention to, you know, how he was, you know, from when I was born to when he passed, right? So I'm able to look past, you know, at the past and really.
You know, you're really lagging, by the way.
Oh, damn it! I can see it too. I was hoping I wasn't lagging, but you can hear me normally, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's such a bad lag that I had to tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna exit and come back in.
I guess I can talk about something that. Okay, yeah, Peter's back. Sorry to cut you off, man. But you want to continue yours?
Yeah. So I mean, well, that was pretty much the gist of it, man. Is that like I can understand, you know, I you know, with like, you know, kids today and kids of the past, or, you know, family traumas, you know, I think I'm fortunate, even though that I didn't have the greatest, you know, relationship with my dad. I'm able to still have a great relationship with my mom and my grandparents and my uncle. You know, it taught me, my dad's death taught me, you know, how to appreciate what I have, you know, and to really appreciate my dad and mom and my grandparents on, you know, being a parent, being the head of the house, right, being the leader of the family. So, you know, thanks, Dad.
Do you think you if you were to go back, you would do anything different?
Honestly, I would like to imagine that I'd be a better son if we can roll back the time to 10 years, but I don't think.
Would you try to connect with him, even though it's like, even though I know, like, let's say your dad is hard-headed and he has a different ideology, would you let down your ideology to connect with him with his ideology?
Well, that's the thing, right? So the case was that my dad had a lot of trauma that he didn't get a chance to deal with. Didn't know how to deal. The whole goddamn family didn't know how to deal with his trauma, and that's why, like, mental health, right, for a period of time was just so big. It's big for me now, but I'm I'm good, but that's why, like one of the biggest lessons from my dad's passing that I learned was just taking care of my mental health, because he is a good person. It's just that, because one trauma after the other, don't know how to deal, don't know who to turn to, and the idea of asking for help is just so kind of looked down upon too, and it'd be a struggle, for me to try to deal with that, even knowing what I know now, so getting professional help would be 100% recommended for, like, everybody, even if you're, like, okay in life, or even if you're good in life, I'd even still recommend, seeking some type of help,
With my dad, that's why I'm really close to my dad. But I think the reason why I'm so close to my dad is, like, I let him win on everything. On whatever occasion, he's right, and whatever he feels like doing, he thinks like this, like, I acknowledge it. I wouldn't say, "Oh man, Dad, that's," unless it's like a really horrible idea and that's gonna cost us money or whatever it may be. Then I'll say something.
Yeah.
But, like, if it's just like his ideology of, like, oh, like, example, like, if he says, like, all men should have two wives, I'm not gonna disagree on it. I'm just gonna agree with it, and, like, for me, it's different, right? But it's not that. I'm gonna have a conversation with him about it, like us, but I'm not going to, like, argue with him about it, So I think it's kind of one of my traits too, is, like, connecting with people on a deeper level, and, like, it's crazy, but it's just listening, man, listening and figuring out that they, like, because they're expressing out their feelings to you, you know what I mean? So, like, understanding their perspective is really important, because, like, even a psycho, right? Like, just talk about example, like a psycho, he's just psycho and he believes that there's
flat Earth.
Yeah, flat Earth or something like that, right? Like, having the air to just listen and getting a perspective on it,
Yeah.
it's can really help them out, because, like, it's crazy. It is like a therapy session, especially. I think that's kind of why my ex girl loves me so much too, because, like, it's always like I'm always trying to understand and trying to lift the relationship. But there are times where, like, you do have to end it because it's just obviously she's not helping out. Like, she's not really reciprocating, yeah, the right things. Because sometimes I need help too, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need help too, dude.
Listen to me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
That's good,
it's
man.
hard. It's
like,
hard.
That relationship you have with your dad, that's beautiful, man. Like I like me and my dad, we couldn't listen to each other. Like I was always so ready to be angry at him and to just shit on him, and then yeah, it was rough, dude. But
Yeah, man, I can imagine, man. I don't blame you for feeling that way at all, because I mean, in obviously we can't really go back or change anything, but what I've learned is, like, just breathing and taking the moment, like, why do I feel this way? Because like like I said, like you know me, I've always had anger management, and like I've learned how to control that a lot better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I still do. You know, it's not that I don't. Um, but just breathing and like asking why, because like anger kind of comes from frustration.
Yeah.
Like that's how like you're frustrated, you don't know how to express it, and you kind of are trying to win the conversation or trying to be just like understood.
Yeah, you become
And
an animal.
it
You're
comes out wrong.
uncomfortable, and then you're like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking beat your ass.
The animal comes out of you.
Because I don't know how
So
to.
it's
I don't know
tough,
how to
man.
be an intelligent being, so I'm gonna rip your face off.
Yeah, yes, that's a good way to put it. But yeah, man. Let's go on. Let's move on to the let's get some laughs here, man. Let's get some laughs. Let's go to the comedy video. I think that was a pretty good, wholesome video. Good conversation. Oh, you guys are gonna have some good laughs on this one.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be good.
Hi guys, my dad bought a really big grill.
Go over there.
Just kidding, it was a little fucking grill.
Ah, dog, that's hella funny, dog. No, just kidding. That's a little fucking grill.
That's cute as hell, huh?
Oh, that boy talking
Oh.
mad shit, bruh.
What would you do if your kid did this?
I would laugh. Yeah. Dude, you know, for a while, you want me to shut this off? You want to go to the next video?
Yeah, I mean that's funny, man. Yeah, I mean I think that's just hilarious.
You want to go to the next video?
Yeah, for sure.
Of our house. And it can become hard because she'll hire someone to fix something and they always come talk to me. I just think they're used to talking to husbands and they come to me and I'm like, I don't know why you're here. We had our water heater, something, I don't know, but I walked by at the wrong time. Now I'm in a water heater conversation. And I'm like, yeah, well, these tough time for water heaters, you know, like just. Well, finally, you know, he's like, well, where's the water heater at? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, I don't think we have one, to be honest. And we would like to buy one from you today. So if we could go out to your truck, I would love to pick one out.
That's good, man.
And he was very confused by this. He didn't know what to say, but, you know, it's a new time. So he was like, is your husband here by any chance? I said, yeah, she's around here somewhere. She's probably in this shed. The guy that we have that mows our yard is my wife. It's free, which is nice. I don't care for the tone it is mowed in. She wanted to mow it. And I was like, look, that's fine. But I want you to go tell every neighbor that you choose to do this.
Hell yeah, dude. That's hilarious, dude.
I don't want to always be getting stopped like, you the guy that makes his wife mow the yard? I'm like, yeah, I got my mom on the roof right now.
That's hilarious, dude. Wow, what a time we're living in, man. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. It's just funny, man. I had a question. It was just, are men turning like this? I think it's a joke of the generation, man.
Yep. That's hilarious, man. Where the roles are, you know, intertwined, you know, or like women are becoming more masculine, or having like, or doing more masculine, you know, traditionally masculine stuff, you know, and guys just kind of chilled and laid back, and yeah, go ahead and do it. You know, so that's hilarious.
Right. I'm gonna be a stay-home dad.
Hey man, there ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's called evolution. All right, last video.
Oh, this is last one.
Did you have a good time working with your dad? Well, no, because he tricked me. I thought it was a comedy, but it was actually a drama. What does your dad do?
Keep my name out your fucking mouth!
That's still
Gotta love the internet, dude.
That's hella funny. That's still funny, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Gotta love the internet, man.
Oh,
hilarious,
shit.
man.
That was a good one, dude. That was a hella good one.
That one caught me off guard too, man. Like that's so funny. But yeah, do you want to watch the Reddit one? I haven't seen that one yet.
What Reddit one?
The Reddit that you posted, dog. This is wild.
Oh, okay. Let me show you. Yeah, okay. I gotta pull that one up. Yeah, okay. So
I'm gonna try now to read what you wrote here. I only read. Okay, now I'm reading it now.
No, I'm gonna pull this one up. The dating one. I don't know if you've seen that one, but I'm gonna pull that one up.
All right.
Because I love that one, dude. That one, man, it speaks to me, man. It speaks to me.
Let's go for it.
So this is actually an old video. I saw this, probably years ago, but man, I saw it again and I was just like, oh, dude, we gotta look at this video. We gotta talk about this, man.
All right, let's go.
If it'll load. Uh-oh.
The world's first date. Wait, I think. Okay, no, hold on. I may have seen this. Hold on, let's see.
It's an old video, dude. And it was trending, but I don't know if it'll fucking load. See, this is why we gotta plan these things, man. So.
It's all right. It's my technical tea.
Improv. Okay, let's see. But okay, so I'm gonna try to find it, but at the same time talk about it. Like dating, right? Dating in today's age. How the hell? Because I got married 7 years ago, and then the dating game probably has changed, I think, man.
Oh yeah, definitely has changed.
Because I've been watching for research purposes. I've been watching these dating shows. I've been watching these relationship couple shows, and then they're talking about how they go date or they go on to these shows to date or It's so weird to me, so foreign to me. Okay, so here's the video. Can you see the video?
Yeah. I think I may have seen this, but let's watch it again.
Okay.
The school that I went to was all girls, and it was just not my thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just
like too many bitches.
I think that's just kind of sexist.
Would you like to see each other again? Probably not, eh?
Probably not, eh?
I think we're totally different people.
Yeah, definitely.
You did the right thing, man. You did the right thing.
I love that shit, dude. Oh my god! You
did the right thing, man.
That's like my
run away, man.
That's my biggest fear, man. Is just having to go out there again, and then do I be me or do I be a different version of me, or how do I start this conversation with this total stranger that I'm trying to, my mindset is totally different from 10 years ago, man. And it's just, man, it's wild, dude.
I think you'll be more mature. I think you'll be different for sure. Let's just say that you do. I think you'll be different. I think you'll definitely approach it in a different, mature Wait,
Well, that's the thing too.
groceries.
Right? It's like you the approach. You know, because like I'm gonna be authentic. You know, how much authenticity, right? Should I bring to the table, right? Because I'm gonna be 100%. You know, real
All of it, man.
all the time, and then I'm also gonna be like, you know, what I'm saying, I'm gonna keep it real, right? Because like life's too short to bullshit, you know, and then it's kind of I don't know. I'd be comfortable with myself, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like my I guess my anxiety, right? Just thinking about this is already giving me anxiety. It's like
Yeah, you're thinking about it too much.
it's
Man.
like
That's what it is.
it's the hunt again, the networking again, you know, or do I continue to do my thing and then meet people along the way, right? Because that's originally how I did it and how I, you know, found my wife and we got married. It's just, you know, I stick to myself and, you know, continue on my journey and meet people along the way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, I don't know.
It'll come. I think it'll come. I mean, like even if you do, and I'm not saying that you will. Even now, you know, I think you know, understanding that where you want to go about it, you know, with your life, do you want more people around you or do you not want people around you? Because like obviously when you're trying to find that other person, you want that other person, so you have the drive to the motivation to go out and do these other things and go out of your circle. So it's up to you. You can still do it now. Try to find you know, a business partner or whatever it may be. You have to go out, right? And like connect. So that's just how you know, relationships work. It's just you gotta go out. So it's up to you how you want to go about it.
Yeah, like
but it's
dating-
definitely has changed though.
So you, right? You about to turn 30 this year, right? Dating in your 30s, like what's or dating at you know 29 now, right? You know how's the dating game been for you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm slowly getting back into it, man. I'm not because I'm you know me and my girl are taking a break. But I'm not in a rush because the fact that I gotta get my money right, bro. That's my main goal. I need to get myself right first because like when a girl comes, money comes. Like you have to spend money, go out, gas to go out there, things like that, and like yeah. So it's just a lot of baggage that comes with the girl. So I'm gonna friend zone everybody.
yeah.
We're only going to free events.
Let's go on date. FaceTime.
FaceTime, anything, but we're not gonna go into no fancy dinner. We're just gonna go hiking. Anything that does not involve any money. I'll spend a little bit of gas, but that's pretty much the most I will do.
You gotta be within
right
a
now.
10-mile radius.
10 minutes, right.
is a bitch,
Can't go
you
too
know?
far. Anything further than that, you have to meet me halfway. I can't do it, man.
Oh yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of nervous about it too. But I think I'm pretty confident going in. Like I'm not looking, so I think that's kind of I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm just planting seeds. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not worried about it, but I'm more worried about myself.
What kind of seeds?
Friendships.
Oh yeah.
You know, you gotta friend zone everybody first.
You're right. What about so like
Yeah.
so this is one thing that I thought about too, right? Because like let's say dating in your 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, or even 40s, right? You know what I'm saying? Like how like because let's say because you know I thought about this a while back, but like if anything were to happen to you know my wife at a later age, right? Am I gonna go seeking again, or am I just gonna chill, do my thing, and love my kids, or you know how would I approach that scenario, right? And so there's this 90 Day Fiance, I think is the show, right? I watched that and I was like, that's pretty interesting, right? And so they go overseas to look for a wife, right? And I was like, man, dog, okay, so I probably would do that instead, right? I'd be open to do that because like at that, you know, at an older age, even now, right? You know, I can financially do something like that, right? And just, you know, date overseas and just say, hey, you know, go visit and say, hey, let's do this. Let's build our life. I'm ready to hit the ground running, right? And that's kind of how like me and my wife was. We just seal the deal and then we just, you know, here we are today, right? So I think that would probably, I would skip the dating, you know, game here in the West and just go overseas and do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dating game in the West here is toxic, and like the women here are looking for not a relationship; they're just looking to use. Um, and as an older man, like older men, when they get older, their value goes up. Like when you're 40 years old and you got your shit together, women want to be with you because you got your shit together. You know what I mean? Like you're not that 20-year-old that's like struggling to trying to find a dime to pay rent. You know, you're 40 years old, you got your shit together. Women want stable men. So like your value will only go up high. And like obviously you will want to go overseas because you want that commitment because you want to build that empire even more. So that's completely reasonable. That's like I would do the same thing if I didn't have a choice. And if I had a choice, I'll do that. If I do date a girl that's from the West, it's gonna be a bit difficult. Younger woman, I mean, they're going to be loyal to a certain point. And women that are older, they already have a certain mindset already. I'm not saying that it's like a completely wrong mindset, but it could be, you know, more like a feminist mindset, and that brings a lot of trouble in the household. Of you know, dominating you, and then it comes to dominating comes like disrespectful, and then it doesn't work well.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
She'll be pushing buttons, testing you, pissing you off,
Yeah.
and then, man, this broke bitch ain't got. I'm gonna give me another dick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're as easy as that.
Yep, I totally, I feel that. I feel that, brother.
And you lose too, because if you get a kid with her, you pay child support.
Ooh, yeah.
And not even that, like if you guys do get married, half your shit goes to her.
Yep.
So you lose.
Yep.
You lose,
Prenup.
man.
Sign that prenup. Sign it. Make sure you sign a prenup.
You know what's crazy? Sometimes prenups doesn't even like work. Like it's just like some people
You get the right lawyer, the prenup don't work.
Make sure to get the right lawyer.
Man.
Pay them extra.
Man.
But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Marriage is not beneficial for the West, man, and that's why a lot of men are realizing that too, and you know that's what they're not getting married to, and not even that, they're not even ready to get married, you know. So it's a real struggle.
Is anybody ever really married or really ready? How would
just
you get ready?
jump in. Just jump in, man. Jump in.
And that's why the divorce rate is 60%.
It's crazy. If you talk about divorce rates, man, it's crazy how most women actually triggers a divorce.
Yeah. Initiate.
And I think 80% of women triggers the divorce, and like most men are willing to work and to push through and try to make it work. But women would rather just start over new again, man, and like try to be independent, be new again. But a man was willing to work, especially if there's a family, because he doesn't really care about he'll put up with shit and like just do it for the kids. But a woman, man, it's more selfish act than a man.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, the statistics will surprise you.
Is there a statistic for like how many single mothers and single fathers there are? I think single mothers are probably higher, right? So then there's that statistic too, I guess. You know, like the different kind of man. You know, the ones who would stay in a shitty marriage to try to work it out, but then the wife wants to divorce, and then there's the dude who just, you know, nuts and quits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know the real numbers to that. If I knew the numbers, I would definitely, you know, say it up. But that's crazy. I don't know. That's the number that I need to research up. So I don't have any, you know, ammo to shoot you with that one. So,
you know,
I won't be surprised though.
What's also wild too, right? Is like if you're late in your marriage, right? Let's say you're 50, and then you decide to, let's say you get married at mid-20s, and then now you're in your 50s and you get divorced. Like those divorces, just kind of like, oh, that's interesting. You know, to me that's interesting because like I knew like a supervisor that I was working with back then, you know, is probably near the age of retirement, right, in his early 60s maybe. Divorce. I was like, what? You know, this long? You know what I'm saying? And then now you decide to cut ties. It's like, what the fuck? You know, so that threw me off. You know, like a divorce can happen way fucking later in life. You know.
Yeah, that's interesting too. The only one way for me to support divorce is when the relationship becomes abusive, physically abusive. That's one way that I'm like, you know what? That's one thing. Like, yeah, you need to leave. You know, if the man is hitting you or she's hitting the man, or whatever, vice versa, like, you guys need to leave each other. You know what I mean? If it's just an argument, a disagreement, you guys can work it out. You know what I mean? But if there's like a hitting, like,
if
I'm
every
gonna
day's
kill you,
a MMA match, then it's time to leave. Dog.
yeah, man. I totally respect that. You need to leave, man. You need to leave. I support that all the way. But if it's just like a disagreement, dude, and you're gonna divorce because you had a disagreement and let your kids be like separated from the parents, that's crazy, man. For me, that's just such a selfish act because you want to be right in the argument, and because you're not right and you're not agreeable, that your point is not agreeable. You want to ruin your child's like relationship with the parents. That's for me. That's so selfish and mind blowing to me.
What about so?
I would never understand that.
Here's a twist, right? Because it does happen. Real scenario, right? Is, you know, couple young in love, you know, get married, have a kid. One of them find out, hey, you know, I'm not really into chicks anymore, right? I'm into dudes now. You know, or the other, you know, the other way around, right? Is the chick is like, I'm not really into dudes anymore. I'm into chicks, right?
Okay.
Divorce.
I think I think that could be a possible time there because I think maybe the person is just curious.
Okay.
But if it's like confirmed, like, yo, like I'm not like sexually attracted to you.
No sexual attraction. I love
Then
you as a human being, right? As a person, but just don't find
divorce
any,
for sure.
Don't find any sexual attraction anymore.
That's divorce, bro.
Wow.
There's no way.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
There's no way, cause like you know when we talk about intimacy, man, like for men in general, like that's our only way to feel like empathy, to feel love, to feel a connection is through like intimacy, like sexual intimacy. And if there's no intimacy there, like I'm gonna feel lost. I'm gonna feel that we're disconnected. So I have to have some kind of like sexual attraction towards you, and vice versa. If there's not, then like obviously the love is gone, man. Like you just have to realize that too. It sucks. It happens, but you can try to fix it. But if it's gone, it's gone, man. Can't do shit about it.
Yeah.
I can relate to that a lot, man. It's sad, dude. Ugh. It's sad.
Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to depress you.
One of my previous, one of my exes, like I knew right away that it wasn't gonna work after sexual interaction that we had.
Oh, okay.
It was just like bad. Like I'm talking about, like it was almost like rape in a way. Like a force, getting forced to do it, and she just kind of like, okay, I just want to get it over with.
Don't say that.
Oh,
it was consensual. It was consensual.
Grape. Consensual. Yeah, it is. It was consensual. But it felt. I knew it was different. I felt that it was different.
Brother, don't say the
soul
R word.
wasn't
That's
connected.
the R word you don't say, brother. That's the R word you don't say, brother. Okay, but
yeah, so it didn't really it felt, I knew it, man. Me as a guy, like that's like as a guy, we have to have the intimacy, sexual intimacy.
Damn.
If it's not there, then we know it's not there. You just gotta move on.
Yeah. Damn, cuz.
You wanna watch the one video and then we can
What? Watch what?
What Reddit? The Reddit one?
Which one?
The dog. This is wild.
Oh no, that's not.
Dog.
A video.
This is wild.
I think. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
I think that was an article.
It says. Okay. But yeah, man, you want to close it out?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, we can close it out. Yeah, that was an article that I shared with you. Yeah,
Cool,
man.
cool.
So those who watched the stream, man, we're so happy you watched and enjoyed this conversation with us, man. It's said a lot of funny things. You know, it's gonna be fun editing this, but tune in every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Discord, right? Make sure you sign up for the Discord if you want to have the opportunity to be a part of the live stream. I think we did that last week, and it was real fun. With the guest was Anthony. It was real fun. We have a Patreon. Check that out for exclusive content. Follow us on the links. I'll provide the links below.
Yeah, follow us on Discord. Just join the Discord group. We have a really nice community. We're here to help you out. We have so much information in there, funny articles. Have fun, man. If you're feeling lonely, just go to the Discord, man. We're there for you.
Dog, I'm always online, dude. Literally, like, there's a ding on my phone. I'm just like, reply instant.
Yes,
like
sir.
at like 3 a.m. I replied back to some people. At 4 p.m. I'll be posting some stuff. I'm always on, dog.
Join us, guys. Join us. But other than that, guys, we'll see you guys next week, next Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. You guys have a great Thursday and have a great weekend. Peter, I'll see you soon.
Cool. All right. Bye.
Peace.